Hey guys, Dr. Disrespect here. Hey, we got a great video in front of us today. Heading into 2022.
2022 is going to be explosive, champ.
Dr. Disrespect has a book.
I've made $45 million from just that shout out, Jill. A $15,000 tournament. I got two of them broken. And we're here at the Niners. How about this night?
Wait, is Doc watching right now?
Yeah, right now.
Is Doc watching?
I am right now.
You're gonna get torched in Green Bay.
This headline damn near broke the online community. It doesn't really matter what community you dabble in, okay? You likely saw this appear somewhere on your timeline. I saw Abba and Preach talk about it. Charlie, aka Penguin Zero, covered it. CoffeeZilla even did a video on it. This has been a huge deal. And per usual, I'm a bit late to the party, okay? But it's by design, all right? Usually when headlines like this go live, I like to give it a little time for it to live on social media in case there are any more details to come, so I don't have to keep making the same video over and over again. But in this case, I believe the time has come, okay? If you don't know who Dr. Disrespect is, let me give you a general idea of how popular, okay, this guy is in the gaming community and on social media. Right now, currently on YouTube alone, he's got over 4.6 million followers. Mind you, when this story first broke, he had over 4.7 million. So he lost a few fans, but listen, in the grand scheme, that's the equivalent of pennies on the dollar, literally. But he's got 1.2 million followers on Instagram, down from 1.3, over 2.5 million followers on Twitter, and had over 4 million followers on the Twitch platform before his channel was mind wiped, right, from existence in 2020. And nobody knew why. His fans, other content creators, nobody knew why his channel was backspaced into the graveyard. But this guy is a big deal in the gaming community. Well, it turns out, okay, a couple weeks ago, a former employee who was under a non-disclosure contract agreement, okay, while they were an employee at Twitch. By the way, Twitch, if you don't know, Twitch is where live streamers go to broadcast a lot of their gameplay, and it's a platform that started out targeting mostly, I say mostly, gamers. But within recent years, all of the thoughts and fake entrepreneurs who have become OnlyFans content creators have taken over, okay? But Twitch used to be a place for the gaming community. Well, this ex-employee, okay, that left the company, suddenly decided to stir up the pot. After leaving the company, he decides to stir the pot. And what that meant is that this particular employee, it meant that they were no longer under the contract or bound to the discretionary clause of their contract under their job title. And that meant that the reason Dr. Disrespect, whose real name is Herschel, that's not me doxing him, okay, this is already public knowledge. But it meant that Herschel, the reason he was banned from Twitch and was also no longer protected by the disclosure agreement from his particular former employee, who apparently had insider knowledge, okay, it meant that Herschel would be outed. And so would the reason why he was banned from Twitch. Now, I have to remind you all again, okay, this guy was a virtual megastar in the gaming, is, okay, a virtual megastar in the gaming community. He's basically the equivalent of a Graham Stephan or CoffeeZilla in the finance space, okay, huge cult-like following. Well, turns out that the reason Herschel was banned was because Twitch found out that he was communicating with a minor, and that not only was he communicating with this minor, okay, through text messages, but he was also allegedly in the midst of setting up a meeting with this minor at an upcoming event, which, by the way, I've seen tons of YouTubers reporting on this, saying that the girl was 17, as if that's somehow better. Okay, but nowhere does it actually say from the source that the girl he was trying to link up with was 17. They said that it said minor. So we technically don't know how old this girl was. So, boom, this goes nuclear online. YouTube and Twitter streets are going haywire, buzzing with the news of one of their stars being exposed.
Oh my God, my boy. Go take that break, bro. Hey, look, though. Hey, look. Hey, look, bro. Just go take that break, bro. Like, just, like, you know, go reevaluate your whole life and shit. You know, damn.
So then what happens? Well, not wanting to stay silent as this entire ordeal was beginning to balloon into a pretty big fucking deal, Herschel takes to Twitter, in which he then publicly admits that the accusations are 100% true. I know some of you, okay, have already heard this 100 times, but for the people who haven't, I'm going to read his statement where he addresses the accusations directly on Twitter for the purpose of context, of course. All right. So let's get to it. All right. So here we are. Dr. Disrespect on Twitter. He titled it the Twitch ban. He says, hello, I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the fucking bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about. And I'm always willing to accept responsibility. Well, that's really not the case, is it? You weren't really willing to accept all the responsibility, but let's continue. Which is why I'm here now. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. More on that in a bit. It says a lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and I, and we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have high career ambitions and families, and I'd never want to jeopardize the culture we have carefully crafted. The Midnight Society is basically a byproduct and creation of Dr. Disrespect, which was a gaming company, I believe. Okay, don't quote me on that, but it's a pretty big deal. Again, as I just read, a lot of people were attached to this. Okay, so it's not just Dr. Disrespect whose job or career or future was in jeopardy with the release of this news. Everybody at that company that worked for him, that was employed, that was getting a check, this also impacted. But let's continue. It says, everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of this story regarding the ban. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't get me any more clear than that. He just admitted to communicating with a minor, and we're not talking about just, hey, how you doing, or hey, what's your name, what games do you like? No, these were inappropriate messages. But let's continue. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. Says every fucking to catch a predator known to man. I know y'all are familiar with Chris Hansen, right? To Catch a Predator. Isn't this what every one of them says? I wasn't really going to do anything. I was just showing up with a box of condoms and some beers just for the show, for the look. I had nothing planned. Isn't that what they all say? But let's continue. It says these were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear. It was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. Now, from a moral standpoint, I absolutely take responsibility. Doesn't sound like you're taking responsibility, though. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, a husband and a father. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll fucking own my shit. This was stupid. Now, with all that said, don't get it fucking mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction zone. I'm no fucking predator or pedophile. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me fucking knows where I stand on those things with those types of people. Fuck that. That's a different level of disgust that I fucking hate even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as the worst of the worst with your exaggerations. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. But I think I've said what I needed to say regarding the ban itself. That's it. That's why Twitch made the decision in 2020. To my team, community, industry friends that have supported me, blah 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 blah. Listen, let's get to the good part. He says, but trust me when I say this, to all my haters that live and breathe social media with zero real life experience, I don't give a fuck about you. Ooh, it's got to remain stoic in the moment, right? He says, finally. If you're uncomfortable with this entire statement and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine. Well, but I'm not fucking going anywhere. I'm assuming in his mind that is the exact point where a standing ovation was given. I'm not the same guy that made this mistake all those years ago. I'm taking an extended vacation with my family as mentioned on stream. And I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders. They want me to disappear. Yeah, fucking right. And he posted this on June the 25th. Okay. Now mind you, okay, people who have been reporting and following this story closely already revealed that this was not the original tweet. Okay. He apparently changed his tweet at least twice that we know of, which in itself is telling. Okay, all this really leads me to my final point about all of this, which is your perception to the people matters when you're trying to maintain an air of I don't give a fuck, because let me tell you, it's a privilege to be able to have these sorts of serious allegations placed on you and then admit to the allegations and still retain most, if not all, of your fan base. Dr. Disrespect already said he'll be back, and I 1000% believe him. And I also believe that not only will he be back, but he'll make more money than he ever has because the support for him will not fade. For contrast, if this was anyone else, their media persona would absolutely be destroyed. Many of you have never heard of EDP 445, but let me catch you up, okay? Let me catch you up to speed real quick on who this particular scumbag was. EDP 445 was a YouTuber who had over 2 million subscribers here on YouTube, who was infamously known, okay, for his rants and vlogs. Well, EDP 445, whose real name was exposed as Bryant Moreland, ended up being caught up in a sting operation. Most of you, as I said before, know who Chris Hansen is, right? His To Catch a Predator videos are still living right now in YouTube infamy. Well, nasty ass Bryant gets caught up in a similar type of sting operation where he's caught trying to physically meet up with a girl that he believes is 13 years old. That's right, 13 years old. Well, in To Catch a Predator fashion, it turns out that the girl was actually a decoy posing as an underage minor. Now, since he was caught red-handed, what did he do? What does Bryant do? Well, he told the world that he was just coming to get cupcakes.
Put this on, EDP.
Right here? Coming out here to...
Glasses off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
Oh, okay.
There was...
Do they sell cupcakes
That was...
in this driveway? You initiated conversation with a 13-year-old knowing she was 13, yes or no?
Correct.
Okay.
But I don't understand why are you attracted to like 13-year-olds? Like, why are you attracted to underage?
That's a good question, yes.
Clearly said
Why do you like children?
In one of the
Asking the hard-hitting
screenshots that
questions.
you've always
As a result of this operation, EDP 445 lost everything. I'm talking couldn't even retain a job working at Ace Hardware because people were calling in telling his bosses that they had hired a pedo, right? But unlike EDP 445, Herschel, I'm afraid, will not suffer the same fate. Why? Because his supporters are staying no matter what. And the fact that he still has millions of subscribers on multiple platforms is proof of it. It's the same way with Caleb Hammer, okay? And all that weird shit that he was doing before he blew up on YouTube, with his audience that he has now. And his reviews today remain intact. And he's making money hand over fist right now. And so will Herschel. Dr. Disrespect isn't going anywhere. He'll come back from vacation and continue to put out content and rake in tons of ad revenue and live a very, very comfortable lifestyle financially. Why? Because humans have short-term memory when it comes to people that they admire and pedestalize. Well, turns out I was wrong. Not only was I wrong, but I was dead wrong, all right?
Waves, Mana. Welcome back. Welcome to the Champions Club. Jesse, appreciate the $50 donation. Only streamer I've ever donated to. Thank you for the 50. Cameron Hartley, thank you for the 5. How come you have a cupcake but not me? Thank you for the 5. How we feeling, Doc? Says Roy. I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little fatigued. Feeling a little fatigued. But I'm telling you, man, I'm just feeling fatigued. Right? Feeling a little burnt out. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys showing up. I appreciate you guys showing up. But I am serious when I say I'm feeling a little fatigued. You know? Like I'm actually tired of being on social media. And I've expressed that over the years, champs. I just, you know, I've always kind of hinted like it'd be nice to get off and just completely separate, right? Go live in Costa Rica or something. I don't know. But I'm just feeling burnt out, I think, you know? I came into this, over the years, it's just gotten, I don't know, like it's been drained out of me. It's being drained out of me. It's being drained out of my family and I. And I just feel like, you know, I had the mindset of let's just see what happens today. How are we feeling? And I'll tell you, I just, I don't know. I'm just feeling burnt out. You know, maybe it's time to start something new, something different. You know, challenge those creative senses, a desire to explore different realms, if you will. But I think the first and foremost, though, is, you know, I did have a sort of a planned vacation coming up. And I think I might just extend that starting today, starting now. You know, one of these, let's take a step back. I mean, it is what it is. People get fatigued, right, champs?
Part 2, listen. I was so wrong about this situation. Let me tell you, I will be the first to admit that I thought that there was no way that this entire Dr. Disrespect situation would affect him in any way long-term monetarily. I thought that this would just blow over. He would go on a break. He would come back. And he would get right back to making money. I thought that at most, okay, he would maybe lose some of his supporters, maybe some relationships with fellow content creators, and maybe a sponsorship deal or two. But boy, was I wrong, okay? Hey, maybe there's some amount of tact and decency left in the world after all, because Dr. Disrespect, y'all, is done, okay? And when I say done, I mean he's absolutely flame broiled, okay? Put him on the smoker all day. He's that smoked brisket with the red ring around it. He is absolutely cooked, y'all. So, listen, it turns out that not only has he lost several brand deal opportunities and sponsorships, but he has also been demonetized right here on YouTube. And listen, if you don't know what that means, just ask Fresh and Fit. The videos and his page are still up, okay? However, he will no longer earn a single dime from any of the content he's produced on the platform, from past, present, future, doesn't matter. It is over. And for a man that thought that he would be able to just take a break and come back to this platform and continue to earn thousands upon thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars, to find that yet again he's going to have to move to another platform if he wants to continue his streaming career, is absolutely brutal. Listen, it's a brutal awakening, but this guy brought it on himself. He lied to his fans and his audience about why he was banned from Twitch in the first place, and told the world that he had no idea, when he knew full well why he'd been booted and why they threw him out on his ass. And the entire time, for 4 years, he lied to y'all. He allowed that lie to live on in perpetuity while his ego, his pride, his status continued to grow. Dr. Disrespect allowed the money to give him the false perception that his life was insulated by his fan base and popularity within the gaming community, and that he couldn't be touched. Just like all these other YouTubers that obtain some type of mass following and then their sins come back to haunt them, Herschel convinced himself that he had enough muscles in his t-shirt to insulate him from the backlash of him openly admitting to the world that he once chased after an underaged minor. And he told you all, in response to it, he was so ego-driven that he told y'all that it wasn't a big deal, that he didn't really have any intentions on following through. Hey, listen, I know what it looks like, but do not believe your lying eyes. Hey, I know you guys caught me red-handed on the camera, jacking the register for a couple $100s when I thought nobody was looking, sliding it into my apron, into my Walmart apron, right? I didn't know you guys were paying attention, but listen, I wasn't really going to leave the store with it. I was just testing to see if you guys were watching, that's all. Hey, baby, listen, I wasn't really going to do anything with that girl you caught me in the hotel room with. I was just, helping her out. with some stress relief, you know? Listen, make sure, okay, this is a lesson. Make sure when you're riding high on the hog that you got a clear view of what's behind you, okay? Because that tailwind will knock you right on your ass. And you know that even more tragic thing, the even more tragic thing about all this is that this guy was so high on himself that he just turned down a $10 million contract with Kick in order to remain streaming on YouTube because he said it was more lucrative here.
And it's no hard feelings. I appreciate the $10 million offer per year, Kick. Okay, that's what they offered, and I'm very humbled. But the number's 50 million. I'm not budging from that one. 50 mil, you get the 2-time. Okay. If not, I'm not interested in moving. Community's too strong here. We've established numbers are just outrageous. 10 mil per year, 0 gambling, but it's just not enough.
A platform that he is now making $0 from. I would be sick. Hey, about that offer, you guys, can I take me back? I'm not sure just how many Patreon members he has out there, but I'm sure he can still, continue to monetize on that platform and earn a decent living. But I think it's safe to say that all future hopes of lucrative deals are off the table, okay? And there will continue to exist the people that will defend him regularly, but his reputation, however, in the marketing world is obliterated and has been banished to the shadow realm. And it's a shame that he tried to play this I'm going on vacation off as a pre-planned thing that he had coming up when he saw that the waters were getting choppy, because it really makes him look even worse, okay, in this case right now. And hey, let me say this. I do find it odd that all this happened and we have yet to actually see any of the alleged messages from his interactions and those texts with a minor. For these days, it's uncommon, okay, for brands to quickly disassociate. Well, I should say it's not uncommon for brands to disassociate themselves with anyone that they deem as a liability and not an asset, okay? But hey, listen, I think that this video is pretty much a wrap. Let me say this too. For all of the flack that Dr. Disrespect has gotten from this interaction, I think what is happening over on Twitch right now with some of the female content creators is definitely on the same scale as Dr. Disrespect. You have all of these female content creators on Twitch hopping on there. They're half naked, they're half nude, they're half clothed. Some of them aren't clothed at all, okay? And they're using whatever certain props to cover up certain body parts and get away with it, while they know that there are underage minor boys in the chat. And they know that they're streaming to underage boys and that they're flocking to their content because they know that they can get on stream and see them half naked. Listen, it's the same shit, in my opinion. So all of these women who are out there doing it, Amaranth, all of these female streamers over on Twitch, they're no better than Dr. Disrespect. Y'all are trash and you're fucking scum. And I really think and I hope that there is a reckoning. I hope it starts with Dr. Disrespect, but I hope this thing ends up fanning out and touching multiple people, because all of you all are really just some of the most worst bottom feeders that I think America has to offer. And I hope that there is a real true reckoning for y'all. But listen, that's gonna do it for this video. It's long enough. I'll see y'all in the next one later. Drop your comments down below and let me know what y'all think.